Hi everyone, we are at Escape the Rat Race 33. I'm with John Williams. Hi John.
Hi Christian.
And we are just about to get started on tonight's event. Really looking forward to it. John, what are you going to be talking about tonight?
And we're talking about how to start a business with zero competition and how to get started in 30 days rather than putting it off for another day when you've got more time.
Yeah, and you've got plenty of experience doing this with hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Over 1,000 people have been through a process that I'm going to describe tonight, yeah.
Yeah, and of course in your two best-selling books.
Yep, Screw Let's Play and Screw Break Free. You can see a bit of a theme in those titles.
Yeah, so you're going to be pulling out some of those ideas.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really interactive session tonight. So should we get going?
Yeah,
let's go.
So that's how you get a standing ovation. You can sit down now, it's okay. Thank you, Christian. So this is about how to create a business with zero competition and get started in 30 days. I don't like it when people hang around waiting for the perfect time to get started. I want you to be able to start straight away. So that's what it's about tonight. And I'll stay out the way of the projector. Was I in the way of the projector? Yeah. So just to give my qualifications on this subject, I've done this a couple of times where I created things which are really were top of their genre. So one of them was a book, Screw Let's Play. I've got a copy here actually, and this came out in 2010 and went into a top 20 on W. H. Smith's and became an Amazon bestseller. The week it came out, it was named a Buzz Book of the Summer by the Sunday Times. That led to a 2-page feature in the main Times newspaper. Off the back of that, I built an email list of 17,000 followers who follow the kind of things I'm doing. And I started an event called Scanners Night, for which there was really no competition. It was an event for people with lots of ideas who find it difficult to choose and are good at starting things, not very good at finishing. Does anyone relate to that thing? So yeah, a few are here. So that ran for 6 years. And we used to have 80 people turning up, and it would be in the press. And I also invented a thing called the 30-day challenge, where people started a business in 30 days. We had up to 300 people around the world doing it at once. Had our own app to make it work, and that again has had no kind of parallels. There's nothing else quite like that still out there. Now I run a thing called the Pioneer Program, which is all about this subject, how to create a business with no competition. And on Monday, I'm starting a course with a literary agent on how to write a best-selling non-fiction book. So these are the kind of things I do, and the things I've managed to, sometimes without knowing how I was doing it, create that seemed to have no competition, immediately became top of their category, and generated a lot of natural press without me even hiring a PR person. Oh, and also because a lot of the business is online, I can run it from anywhere. So I went to Portugal and hung out with Christian for a few weeks, and I've been to Bali a few times for a month or two at a time. This is me working on my second book while eating chips. It's very healthy. Sitting by the pool. So all these things are possible if you want to engineer that. You know, these are the kind of things that Christian talks about all the time. So how we do that? So I've got 3 things that are really important if you want to follow this process. And the first thing is you need to do something new, because when you do something new, you have the chance to create something that has no competition. And that means you're immediately the go-to person for what it is you've defined. But how do you do that? And how do you do that without it being an incredible risk? Well, this is about daring to stand out and to be a pioneer. So it's really a bad time to try and create a vanilla business. I used to use Tesco's as an example. When I talked about starting a business, I always said, oh, you should niche and you should do something special. And then I go, maybe if you're Tesco's, you can get away with it and you'll be fine. Actually, Tesco's shares have tanked recently. And what's happened is that even Tesco's, with the might of all the money they can spend on marketing, are having a bad time, because what's happened is the market's fragmented, and people are either going to, you know, the local deli, like the de Beauvoir deli near me, stratospherically expensive, the food's amazing, it's full of hipsters, it's a great place, or they're going to Aldi and they're going to Lidl. So the middle of the market is disappearing, and that's happening kind of in everything. Every market is fragmenting. And so if you go and you try and create something very vanilla, if you try and create something that's basically just another business in the category of whatever it might be, or another book in that category, you're going to have a really hard time. Instead, you should create a whole new category of business. And then you'll immediately be number one. And in fact, you will be what's called in the book Play Bigger, which is really good, category king. And when you do that, the person that's immediately top of a category, of a kind of business, who's the name you think of, when you think of that type of business, is the person that gets 80 to 90% of all the money and all the opportunities. So how do you do that? Does that sound appealing, by the way? Okay, good. How do you do that? Because this sounds like something that's a little bit too good to be true. Well, part of it is to do what I call super niching. That means to be willing to be really, really specific about what you're doing and for whom. And Seth Godin, who's heard of Seth Godin? He's a great guy. He's written about 17 best-selling books, run multiple startups, and he's a marketing guru. He's probably considered the #1 marketing guru in the world right now. And he said, if you want to be the best in the world, make your world smaller. So you can be the best in the world. It doesn't mean you have to be better than everybody else. To be the best dentist in the world, for me, you don't have to be the best technically proficient dentist, because I haven't got anything major going on. But to be the best dentist in the world, for me, you need to be somewhere near my house and be good with nervous patients, because I hate going to the dentist. So everyone, if you find a particular niche, then you can actually be the best in the world for that niche. This is another quote I really like from Al Rees, the book by Al Rees and Laura Rees. The power of a brand is inversely proportional to its scope. So the bigger you try and make something more vague it is, the more pathetic the brand is and uninteresting. When people start out and they start their own business, whether it's an Amazon thing or whether it's an online business or some sort of, or going freelance, what they typically do is they say, I will do anything for anybody because, subtext, I'm desperate. And you think that will work, but it doesn't work. It does the opposite, in fact.